Hello, it's Jason Thompson of Emergency Products and Research. I'm here with at Assateague National Seashore in Maryland, doing a segment on the improved traction device. The difference between the improved traction device and the optimum traction device, which I just did in an earlier segment today, is that one of the key differences is that the improved traction device offers a carbon fiber pole versus the optimum traction device's aluminum pole. The ITD offers greater padding in the ischial and upper thigh system, as well as the ankle, and then it also has stenciled straps, which makes it really easy in austere conditions where low light may be a problem, and stress as well. So we've found that in the paramilitary that's actually worked really well. So the other key part of it is the actual anchor assembly itself. Instead of a traditional dart style device like you have on the OTD, the ITD, as you'll see, has a blockier frame with more of a kind of a sandwich concept. So if you think about the dart running inside, it has actually this kind of a sandwich that runs around the outside to pinch the strap in place, and it gives it greater strength and rigidity and resistance against fracture, getting shut in a door frame or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the ITD. ITD comes in a MOLLE compatible pouch, so you have the platform in the back to mounting to your gear. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And as I mentioned, we have a carbon fiber pole. We have here's that sandwich you can think of as I was talking about. So you have your earlier dart style device in the center, sandwiched by two pieces of plastic on the outside. So it gives it a good grip on the actual part that goes over the dart itself. And then you'll find that it's a little sturdier, and again, like I said, it should help to resist fractures in case somebody closes the door frame or something on it. So we have that. Then we also have the upper thigh system. Upper thigh system has a nice pad on there. Same buckle assembly. The ankle has a much heavier padding on there, and it also adds a clip in here too, so make it easier for applying without having to move the leg any more than you need to. And then, as I mentioned, we have thigh and shin straps. So a lot of this is really just designed to make it easier to apply, where again, in austere conditions where you're dealing with stress and low light conditions. And so we'll go ahead and set the pouch aside. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and stage everything. Shin, thigh, my ankle. Go ahead and place my upper thigh system. So I'm going to take my upper thigh system and I'm going to unbuckle this. I'm going to feed this up under my knee. So feed it under my knee. I'm going to walk it up just like you did with OTD. And I'm going to walk it up behind the leg. Bring the padding up, and you want to make sure you get this nice and high, so it won't always be perfect conditions where you're not going to be able to not move your patient. There may have to be some movement necessary to get things in place. I mean, this isn't a perfect world, and we certainly don't practice medicine in a perfect world. So I'm going to make my thigh strap here, my shin strap here, and go ahead and assemble my pole sections. And the same rule goes for this as well as the OTD, that you want to have at least 8 inches beyond the foot. So I'm going to go ahead and place this up here. I'm going to go ahead and place my ankle. Now again, we talked about trying to get things in place. So what the ITD offers is the ability to unbuckle this buckle here, right? So we're going to unbuckle that. We're going to slide this up underneath the foot, not moving them any more than we have to, and then we're going to come around here and we're going to buckle this in place, and again, interruptions, right? Can't avoid them. This is real stuff. So go ahead and go up around the ankle. And just like we talked about in the OTD, make sure this is nice and snug here. And we're going to take our yellow tab, pull that out as far as we can. We've got our leg here. We've got our section so that we're 8 inches beyond. And we're going to just load that up here. And again, this is one of those things where it takes some practice. It's not perfect. You're not going to get it the first time. But just slide that over the dart like that. You're going to go in between the, it's best sometimes to make sure you push that up in here. Make sure it's good and not through this little tab from just using it over and over and over again for training. Sometimes it gets a little compression on there. So iron that out. And then, so just go ahead and feed that in there like that. And you can see now, remember that sandwich I was talking about? So there's your, let's talk about your piece of meat. Slice of bread, and a little bit of mustard in between, right? So it's all nice and tight in there now. You don't have to worry about that going anywhere. So we'll go ahead and set that aside. Snug that down a little bit. Let's get this little strap out of the way. Now I'm going to come up here. I'm going to load my top section into the upper thigh. There we go. So the upper thigh system's loaded. I'm going to take my my knee strap. I'm going to go underneath, line this up here with my knee. Go up underneath my knee. I'm going to pull that nice and tight. So we're trying to, again, like with the OTD, you're trying to keep everything in line with the leg. Now, also just through practice, understanding why we put the straps on here. The straps are only on here to keep the pull from bowing away from the leg. So I go ahead and put my straps on before I do my traction. And again, my fracture's here, so I'm going to go ahead and go up the leg and walk that up under here, and then come up high. There you go. So it's pulling that nice and tight against the leg. And now I'm going to come down here, recheck PMS. I've got good pulses, good motor with pain. I still have some diminished sensory. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply traction. Make sure my trainer is reloaded here. There you go. My spring's all set. I've got this set at 200 pounds. So I wish you could visualize it better, and maybe I'll try and stay on it. I'll do this a little slower so you can see it. But so as I'm applying traction down here, I'm pulling, and as I'm pulling, now if I could try and do this, you'll see that the leg up here will pull out of the torso section, if you will, or the pelvic section of this trainer, and it'll extend out. So I'll try and keep that on there if I can as I'm applying traction here. So, and if you see it, there you go. You see the leg extending out. And I'm going to apply, it's a 200-pound patient, so I'm going to apply 15 pounds of traction. And again, for those who've never done it, and on a trainer, on a real patient, you'll know that it's, having a traction device like this makes it a lot easier than some other devices. But it still takes some muscle memory. It still takes some experience, and it definitely takes a little bit of energy to pull that. But either way, this is the ITD. I hope that you've enjoyed that. And you understand the difference between the ITD and the OTD. And what's nice too, I talked about it in the OTD video, and you can see it there. Or again, let's take time, I'll show it to you now. So this is an INSA splint, vacuum splint. So what we do is we take this now, and the idea is trying to make sure that we've got traction in place. We've got splinting, if you will, but we're not completely immobilized. there's still the ability to bump into the leg and cause additional pain. And we can also better control swelling with a little bit of additional work here. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to lift the leg up, I'm going to slide my vacuum splint under, I'm going to bring this up as high as I can, undo these straps here, I'm going to come around, and bring this up under. Again, I want to keep my injury exposed. Additional straps here around the knee. And you can see this is taking one heck of a toll on my gloves. So Velcro can be a friend and can also be your enemy. So go ahead and lift this up. Again, we're trying not to lift anymore. We have to, but like we've talked about it, you know, in a real world setting, you know, you're going to have to do some things. You know, unfortunately, they cause pain. But you try to minimize as much as you possibly can. But reality is, you're going to, and you hate to do it, but in order to get your job done, sometimes it has to happen. So, but you try to minimize movement as much as you possibly can. So now we've got the leg, the splints in place. We're going to take our vacuum here, the pump, and we're going to pull this out about 8 to 10 times, and it'll slowly pull the air out. There you go. So at this point, go ahead and pull that out, put my tab in there. I now have good exposure. I can continuously pack ice packs in here. I can monitor PMS and continue my reassessment. It's a nice package. I mean, we have a lot going on here, and it looks busy, but you now have a very stabilized, fully immobilized leg. Again, we talk about, you know, we have to be cautious of the fact that the pole sections on ITD and OTD do extend beyond the foot. We just have to be conscious of that. Make sure that we're planning ahead, especially with aeromedical and tight space transports. So anyway, thank you very much. I hope this was helpful, and I will be back with the Mustang.